Multithreading extending thread class in Java.
In this program, we are going to define one class. The name of the class is thread class, which is extending the class thread. So here you see class thread class extends thread, and here we are overwriting the method, that is the run. The run method is there with the respective prototype is void multithreading.thread class.run. So this run method takes no input argument, it returns void, and it is under the public section. So that's why we are just overriding this method run. We know that whatever we will be writing within this run method, that is the body, that is the code to be executed when the thread will be in execution. So here we have defined one for loop here. So for I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. So that means this loop will get on executing for 10 number of times. The iteration will be done for 10 number of times, and the value of I will be ranging from 0 to 9. And within this particular for loop, we have put this try catch block, and here we are going for this thread.slip. You can find that this particular slip method, it throws interrupted exception. This particular slip method throws interrupted exception. So that's why we have enclosed this thread.slip within the try block, and the catch block is handling this interrupted exception E. And you can find this that this particular slip is of the type static. So that's why public static void slip long millis. So it is taking this milliseconds in the data type of long as the input argument, which throws interrupted exception. As this method is defined under the class thread, this method is defined under the class thread. So instead of defining the thread class object as it is of the type static, so we can call it by thread.slip. So thread.slip, so 100 milliseconds it will be waiting, and then it will be slipping, and then catch interrupted exception E, and in the catch block we have written E.print stack stress. So this is a class we have defined. Under this class we are having the main function. We have defined one thread class object. The thread class, whatever you have defined here, we have defined one object, that is a tc1 is equal to new thread class constructor. tc1.start, whenever we are calling this start method, the run method will be executed. That means this particular thread will be executing in parallel of this for loop execution. So this particular for loop will go on executing for I is equal to 0 to 9, and main thread colon line colon plus I. So I will be printed from 0 to 9. So let us go for the execution for the better understanding. You can see that this particular line, that is the main thread colon line colon. So this particular line has got executed for 10 times for I is equal to 0 to 9. But this particular printing is under this for loop, and within this for loop this thread.slip will halt for 100 milliseconds. So that's why it is go on printing in this way. So if I go for the execution once again, you can find that this for loop has got terminated earlier, and then these lines are getting printed because here we are having one slip here, and this slip is occurring for 10 number of times. So what we can do, we can just copy this try block here. We can also put it we're putting this try block as usual. So now if I go for execution, you can find that both the lines are having the respective 100 millisecond delay. So that's why the lines have got printed in this way. So you can find that this thread, the run function and this particular for, they are executing in parallel. So that's why the outputs are coming like this one. In this way, in this particular program, we have discussed how to define one thread class extending our thread class here. So this thread class is under the package java.lang.